What is going on? We are here again. Shout out to the big homies in the chat. Playoff action here in season number 10 is going to get crazy real soon, folks. We got the wild card games today. Then we have the conference championship games tomorrow and Saturday. Then we will close out season number 10 on a high note in the United Bowl. We got to decide who's going to make it. We got two great teams, but before we do that, we got the homie back in here again, Mr. Caboose, league owner, joining as always for these great games here. What's going on? How are you feeling?
I am feeling like I have had no internet for most of the day and have been able to get nothing done. So,
felt that.
Yeah. Other than that, I am ready and geared up for these playoffs.
Most definitely. So we could do a brief go over these two teams here. I'll let you start off. You could choose either one of these teams. Which one you
know what? Feeling? I'm gonna take New York. This is a team that going into the season I honestly thought was gonna have another kind of growth year, another kind of how to put it, growing pains of just being a younger team, not having maybe the most active, but honestly, Aaron Ike came up in such a huge way that I didn't even expect or see coming, and he really put this team on his back. Where they were like 1-10 at one point, 1-9,
and
they rattled off 4 or 5 straight wins to make the postseason. So something just truly spectacular that I was really not expecting, with statement wins over Charlotte and I believe Toronto as well in that time span.
Most definitely, most definitely. A great job there from New York all the way around. See, my boy said, can you add my username? You're already in. If you already did it, you're already in. I already see a lot of people up in the giveaway thing, so you're good to go. In regards to the opponents, though, we have the number 2 seed Toronto Wraiths, and if you could fall back to last season for a quick second, they were one of the 2 new teams that joined the league. They had 5 wins last season, and with the help of the coaching staff all the way down to the last player on the roster, this team is built to last. Got to give Tom Riddell his credit in regards to how we sculpted this team. They look playoff ready ever since the beginning. The defense, I really can't speak too much about it without going off for a long tangent, but let's just say they have bodies everywhere to terrorize any team in the league, in my personal opinion. And they've done a very good job, most definitely on the offensive side. We can't short the great job of rookie quarterback Jax James doing his thing, and he's looking very nice in his development. Austin Wilson, he's a top halfback in my personal opinion this season. The wide receiver core has been great. I mean, everywhere you look, there's bodies that can really take this team far, and I can't wait to see this matchup, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a good one, and honestly, I'm expecting a nice tight game all the way through. However, if I had to pick a winner for it, I think Toronto's defense is maybe just a little too much for this young offense in New York. I fully expect New York to be a force for seasons to come.
In my personal opinion, if there's an upset that was going to happen in the wild card or any in the playoffs, I think it will be this one. The New York's offense, if Aaron Eck is on his game, if he's not turning the football over, if they're able to get to Jax James and rattle off some big hits on the quarterback, get some turnovers on their own side, I think they have a real good chance here. I think this is the upset alert game, so this is a great way to start off the playoffs.
Absolutely. Well, without further ado, Stacks, if you would like to go ahead and hit that play game button, let's get this thing going.
Not going to happen. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. Psych! Let's go ahead and get into it. Hit that play game button. Y'all thought I was playing around with y'all. I ain't playing with y'all. We're going to go ahead and get this rolling. It looks like Toronto's going to send it to New York, and we are underway. Let's get into it, because we're going to see the flip over. Looks like it's going to be returned past the 25-yard line to the 28. New York's going to start with the football. Let's do it. Best of luck to all the teams in the playoffs here, as we're going to set up in the single back formation. Going to be a handoff here. Going to push forward, and there goes that strong run defense there, led by Dexter Hall. Just a beast on the block.
Yeah, gain of 1 there for the halfback. You'd like to think that they're going to try and get him involved early and often to try and help alleviate some of the potential issues that could arise with this Toronto pass rush.
Most definitely. Single back again here for Toronto. Going to hand this one off, pushing forward, a juke move to get to around the 35. And it's going to be a 3rd and 3 situation here. So far, the run game running decent, got 7 yards on the ground.
Yeah, it was a really good second carry there. Maybe a little bit of a surprise running 2 run plays in a row like that. But, you know, this brings up a pretty manageable 3rd down for them.
And we'll see the first pass of Aaron Knight on this one, as we're going to see if he can step up a little bit. Goes back a little bit, goes right side, and almost throws a pick. And there goes, I believe, Phoenix Jones Jr. on the coverage. It's going to make it 4th down. The defense of Toronto does what it does.
Yeah, and that's the defensive ends there, Krim, and I think maybe Yogi Bar got in on a blitz there, but they just caused so much chaos in that pocket so quickly. He had no time to throw that ball.
Looking for a bounce. There goes Party. His first punt is a great one. And now Toronto's going to have to start deep in their own territory. A great job by the special teams. And we'll see Jax James in his first attempt of playoff action. They got to start pretty deep. But it's going to be a fun ride here. Toronto coming up with their own single back set, and they'll hand it off to their number one halfback, Austin Wilson, who's going to pick up 8.
Austin Wilson, not just the number one halfback in Toronto, but potentially the number one halfback in the league this season, having a tremendous season.
I don't even know what we could call it potential. He's done it all. He's great in the receiving game. He's great on the ground game. He's picking up touchdowns, yards, and he's doing on a high clip of carries. He's pretty much that feature back that the league is looking for. As there's going to be a sack. And there goes Busta Mac. And that's exactly what I was saying here for New York. Ruffle the quarterback. You'll give yourselves a chance.
Absolutely, and I think both these defenses right now are coming out to play. They're going to show that neither of them are going to give an inch.
3rd and 8 coming up here. Going to be passing it. New York sends 3. They left the wide receiver open, and he barely gets pushed past the mark by Dexter Jackson. And Phoenix Jones making a play on the offense. His son doing his thing on defense. It's 1st and 10 coming.
You know, and that's it's a great play on the wide receiver to just fall forward and not be allowed to get pushed back. Falling forward, they really got them that first down.
1st and 10, big drop back here for Jax James. Going to take off to run, use that speed, but running through a defender. And just like you said, falling forward, picking up 4 in the play.
It's amazing how falling forward makes such a big difference. It's, you know, picking up a first or not. Losing a yard or not. So
the game of football is a game of inches, and every inch counts. That's what the lady said as well.
Yeah, it's a game of yards. Let's be real here.
Austin Wilson loved my joke. It's 3rd and 2 coming. Another 3rd down situation here for Toronto. New York trying to get off the field, give their offense a chance. There's going to be another one, and he's going to find that room and drag him in. Another 3 or 4 yards is Wilson, already over 20, and it's only his first drive. 1st and 10, Wraiths.
Yeah, Toronto really establishing this run game, and it's proving to be difficult for the Mafia to stop right now.
It's the type of battle that Toronto wants. That run game is very deadly, as they're showing here. It looks like Jax James going to take off, find that hole, but throws it away. Didn't like that look. Decides to just take it to the next down, and that's what you like to see from your rookie quarterback. He's only played a little bit more than 2 handfuls of football, right? Actually, technically, we want to say this is 3 handfuls for this 15th game, but definitely a lot of progress all throughout the season. I'm proud of him. I like what I'm seeing, as we're going to see him drop back again. He's looking wide open. Going to be a 1st down play, getting close to midfield, and there goes number 84.
I did not like that that little shift they did there, that play adjustment on defense. It just left the entire middle of the field open for him to hit that in route.
Yeah, might be some miscommunications there with the coaching staff on the sidelines. Need to get those taken care of, but you know, this is the young team still in New York. They've only been in the league for, I believe this is the 4th season, right? Going to be looking to get a pass to the right, and there goes Kevin Lee, who's been in many a playoff games in his career, making it happen, picking up 9.5.
That almost looked like a drop to me, but it might have just been the angle that I had on it was a little bit too high above.
2nd and inches here, and Jackson's going to back it up. They're going to do their own adjustment. Let me show you how you really do it. That's what Jax James said, not me. Going to drop back, quick pitch, wide open again. Sheds off one man. Going to pick up the 1st, and Austin Wilson, he's a bad mamma jamma caboose.
Well, both the offense and the defense are adjusting at the line of scrimmage just about every single play. So this is really an interesting chess match that we're watching here.
Dexter Jackson missing the tackle there He's hoping that this is not his last bit of action in his career. He did opt in to retire when the season ends, as we'll see another handoff in the big hole and a great tackle there. Almost let him free, but that was Dexter Jackson. Make sure he didn't let him go.
Dexter Jackson going to be one of those guys who eventually makes it onto probably a Hall of Fame ballot. Only defensive player to ever win league MVP.
And also the sack leader in a season. Probably a career.
Probably career, yeah.
Right side again and going to be caught. What a catch there by Kevin Lee.
Kevin Lee showing he's still got it. He's getting up there in age, but he's still a key contributor to this Toronto team.
The former Royal, Ricardo Lopez, couldn't quite get his hands on the ball. And Toronto starting from within their own 10, already in the red zone on a long drive here. Is another adjustment here. You spoke about it earlier, as Toronto's looking to pass this left side and throws it away.
Either way, they're in field goal right now, so barring a catastrophe, this drive should end in points for Toronto.
Most definitely. Make sure you invite your players, all the owners up in here. Get up in here. Get up in here. Get up in here. Playoff action here in the USFA. Passing it again. There is a man left side open. I believe there's a hold, so I don't think it's going to count. That should back them up in New York. They're going to profit from that. That's going to give them a chance to potentially back them out of field goal range.
Yeah, definitely. And this, it's one of those things I was talking about, just one of those little catastrophes that happen that take you out of a scoring position that you can't really afford here in a playoff game.
Killer Skrilla in the chat saying about that, I'm staying one more season. I love to hear it.
This is a certified.
Yeah, I didn't see anything in the retirements feed, so I figured he was sticking around.
Oh, okay. Okay, my bad. I could have been hearing the rumor mill a little bit too much. It happens. Says we're going to see 3rd and 2 coming up. Dusty Rooks, he's in the list for the Tight End of the Year award. Doing very well this season.
And he just picked up 18 to make this a manageable 3rd down.
That's what Toronto does. As we're going to see 3rd and 2, another handoff, why not? And there's a hold again. So back them up some more. Try it again. And there's the center on the first hold, and then the left guard on the second hold. So they'll need to tighten that up. But now it's not as easy. 3rd and 11.
Yeah, the line right now is really giving the team some fits, and honestly is putting this team in jeopardy of actually scoring points.
The only drawback of long drives, you honestly give your team more chances to mess up. We're going to see a pass right side. It's going to be picked off. It's going to be taken back. Going to be Gunny McGuire in the defensive New York hole.
That was it. If there's ever a time to say tip drill, that was it. Swatted down, and there's a sack.
Brendan Barbo, the rookie, making it happen. Hasn't done a full season, but I like number 7 on this defensive line, right opposite of Andre Krim. He's doing very well in his development too.
Yeah, both these defenses are actually making amazing plays left and right. Offense, I think, is going to be hard to come by.
That was Gunny McGuire on the INT, as that is going to be a gain of nothing. Roman Baller right there. Is that Angelo Roman?
Maybe.
We'll have to double check. Let me know who you is. Roman Baller 10 up in the chat. Shouting out New York. Looking for a man going to launch his middle fielder. It is going to be caught. And he got about 3/4 of the way there. That's unfortunate, but they got the best punter in the league. I think they'll be fine. See if they can flip the field again.
Yeah, send this thing back and just hopefully the defense won't give up as many yards and they can get some better field position on their next drive.
Gonna send this one away. And look at that, all the way back to the 20, but they got blockers, and they're going to take it past the 30 and drag a man past the 40. Cam Jones an unsung hero here in this Toronto team. Special teams is a cornerstone of the game of football. If you could get good field position, you can win most games.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think New York, that's one of the things that most people weren't really expecting out of them, is they've probably got one of the best special teams unit in the games.
Most definitely. Single back set again. Toronto's second chance on offense here, looking for a handoff and finding a little bit of a hole. Reaching forward again is Austin Wilson. Just does not know how to fall backward. He went to the side on one drive, on one run play, but still went backwards.
Nothing backwards yet from him, which is amazing. Usually by now you've got at least one or two backwards.
Second and 4 coming up. Gonna be passing it here. Goes left side and wide open. Spot. Pullman. Touchdown. Wraiths.
Well, I don't know what the deep coverage there was doing. You've got 1, 2, 3 guys there deep, and all of them just let him run right through.
It looks like a miscommunication there.
Yeah, playing soft zone, and no one knew who to pick him up.
Kick is going to be up here, and there goes one of the better kicker punters in the league history, David Washington. I'll say he's top 3 fairly easily, in my opinion. And yeah, he did very well on that. We have ourselves a 7-0 ball game, first quarter. Still cooking, got another 24 seconds. If you're New York, Caboose, and the coaching staff of New York, what are some adjustments that you'd like to see from his offense?
You know, I think that the team's offense needs to start finding its gear. They've gone 3 out on, I believe, both their first 2 drives here. So maybe get some nice short passing routes going outside. Easy completions, move everything upfield, maybe try and sprinkle in a run here or there. But I think they just need to simplify their offense and take what the defense gives them instead of forcing things.
Most definitely. And we're going to go ahead and see this kickoff. New York returning this one fresh out in the end zone. Going to look for the return, taking us past the 20 and gets to the 24-yard line. Safe to assume New York should end the first quarter on this particular drive, assuming it's not a lot of incompletions, but we'll see what happens here. Aaron Nike, he's been in the playoffs before, right? Or is this his first?
This would be his first, I believe.
Yeah, because they had Cletus Castle when they first went. So definitely an interesting set here. It's going to be Aaron Nike. They send the blitz in. They're going to get home with the safe. I was about to say the safety. It is a safety, though. Kilo Mack.
And the Toronto pass rush is just lethal. That ball needs to be out of his hands in maybe 5 seconds or less. He just doesn't have that much time with this Toronto defense.
End of the first quarter here. They're going to try the ground game, and once again, bodies on top of bodies there for this Toronto team.
And pick up a few yards, get yourself a little bit more breathing room on that end zone, and try and make a play downfield for this third down.
They had a long third down on their last drive, so if they can replicate that, it should be a first down. We'll see how they play it. Going to look for a man here. Going to go ahead and go short with it, and he runs out of room, and that is not what you want to see. We'll see Potty come back onto the field real quick.
I think if maybe you do that on first down, this is a completely different situation.
Even if he was able to keep himself in bounds, that would have been an easy setup for a tackle. So definitely not the right play. But we'll see Potty with another big boot past the 25-yard line. Decent blocking. And there goes Cam Jones again with another solid return, getting him close to the 40.
Toronto now is kind of trying to take control of this game. They had the one big splash play that got a touchdown for them. I think for New York, if you give up another set of points on this drive, this might get really difficult for you.
As we're gonna see the handoff, and there goes the Jets, hitting them right there. Only giving up a gain of 1. Can't be mad at that.
No, not at all.
And we were just talking about him going forward. That was I'm pretty sure that's the first time we've seen Austin Wilson go backwards at the contact.
Yeah, definitely it is.
157 yards on offense so far for Toronto, only 11 here for New York. So that'll need the change if New York wants to get back into it, as we're going to see the pass, and there is a flag. What is it though? It's going to be another hold. So the full interior lineman here for Toronto at least having one penalty.
Yeah, not a good look. You know, refs are really paying attention in this playoff game to these little holds, making sure that the game is being played as fairly as possible. But you know, when you get to these playoffs, it's easy to take a hold. It's easy to take a small penalty if you're trying to create a little bit extra space for your quarterback.
And see Austin Wilson again falling forward there, but it's going to be a 3rd and a country mile type of situation. We'll see how Toronto plays this one. Make sure you get in that giveaway, !USFA. He's going to see the pass here from James. He's going to launch this left side. It is going to be caught, but this time the New York defense stalls him. And that's exactly what you want to see.
Absolutely. If you're in New York, and now you have a chance to potentially get your field position back and get a real drive going.
Let's look at the summary here, though. Toronto's had 3 drives. They threw a pick, they threw a touchdown, and then they got stopped on 3rd down. So
I believe it was a 3 and out. That's going to be a bounce.
Yeah, 3 and out, got stopped on 3rd down. Yeah.
And what a bounce for that punt right there.
You love to see it. Special teams coming through in the clutch. But now we'll see Aaron Nike in his deepest territory to start. Gotta expect a run play here. Try to give yourself some breathing room here. But Aaron Nike says, screw it, I want to throw it. And they left the man open, and he's going to get close to a 1st down play. Definitely a great start, and they're going to give it to him. Nice.
Yeah, they say he reached out over the line, so one play, 1 1st down, you'll take it.
I was waiting to see when New York was going to start incorporating number 4, Calvin Akua. And he's had himself a heck of a start to his career as a rookie wide receiver. And we'll see the handoff, going to push through. And there is a flag right at the end of it. And there goes the holds again. We haven't seen any holds from the tackles. There's the left tackle coming into play.
That's tough, because now it basically takes everything you just earned and puts you right back at your own 2 or 3 yard line.
They say the 6 here is where they're going to put it. But still, just as you said, real bad field position. We'll see if they could get it cooking here. 1st and 16 coming up, and they will keep it on the ground. And another play by this defensive lineman. Another short gain here from Watson.
Yeah, they're not getting a whole lot. I mean, 2 yards extra breathing room down there is a lot, but 1st and 16 needed a little bit more than that.
They're going with the bunch at the top of your screen. 2nd and 14 coming up, and they'll try the ground game again, see if they can get something. They do get past the 10, but that pretty much makes it back to a base 3rd down and 10 situation. Not quite, it's 3rd and 9, but you want to get a little bit more yards there on the ground, but Toronto's not letting it happen easy.
No, definitely not. And I think really you're kind of setting yourself up for failure in that situation.
Going to be passing it again. They send the blitz off the back foot and almost throws the pick. Almost caught there by Watson. He couldn't hang on. And once again, the Toronto defense is just as lethal as ever.
Yeah, like I said, that 2nd down play, I think, really shot him in the back. Where, you know, you really got to get some more yards than just the measly 5 you get on the ground in that long situation.
Going to be sending this one to the 30, and it's going to be taken down. Almost a face mask. I'm surprised they didn't call it. But it's going to start Toronto back at the 38. So right around where they started on that last drive. Not too much gain there. We'll see what the offense can do. 7 minutes left in the 2nd. Both defenses playing fairly well, along with being aided with some penalties here. We'll see a handoff, and the defense is there to stop them. And you can add on another hold, the second on the day, therefore the center.
I know. I thought that was a face mask. I'm not even gonna lie.
On that play,
Yeah.
it kind of looked like that too, but I think it was fine. Probably got him around the chest plate there. Kind of looked kind of high.
Yeah.
29 yards total up to this point here for New York. Toronto's pushing 200, looking for a man again. Gonna go left side and gonna be caught. Get some of those yards back, but the problem is he was going backwards, so lost a little ground there.
Yeah, that's the issue with those cutback routes. If you've got a DB on your hip, your momentum's taking you backwards. You're gonna lose at least another extra, 2 or 3 yards just from your forward momentum coming back.
Looks like they're trying to get some mini chunk plays here, make the second and third down a little easier, and they're gonna throw it short. And once again, they're in a similar situation as New York was in a little bit. They had the penalty, and now they're back to a 3rd 10, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 9 situation.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be, you've got to take something deep. You've got to take something a bit more downfield. That check down, well, admittedly better than, a short run, doesn't get you a whole lot.
Going to be passing it again. Going to look left side and caught as they throw below the sticks. New York was ready and willing to take that, and they're going to be getting the football again.
Yeah, and good job on just allowing the underneath, giving up nothing deep, and keeping everything in front of them.
Secure the tackle. Make sure they don't get any yards after the contact, after the catch. Let the offense handle its business, as we'll see another punt. Will we see another bounce? Yes, we will. What kind of bounce is that? These punters are on some juice today.
Yeah, I don't know who's putting steroids in the water over there in Toronto, but these kickers they're juiced up right now. Every single punt's been a pin behind the 5.
High formation again. They got 2 tight ends here to the left of the line. And they're going to send number 87 down to the other side to split it up a little bit. They're going to cut around, and he's able to get away from where they were. A gain of 4 on the play by Herrick Denry.
A good little game there. Gets you halfway to a first down. You can't be mad at that. And a little bit of extra breathing room.
Krim in the chat saying, I smell a safety. We'll see how that factors in this one. As we're going to see another handoff. And once again, New York's run defense, top tier. They do get a 1 yard on that play, right?
Yeah, 1 yard on that play from Denry. Toronto not allowing much of anything on that particular play. Probably going to have to be another passing play here.
They're not allowing too much of anything in this game. Pass, run. The best thing up to this point for New York is maybe a first down and the pin earlier. As we're going to see the pass to the right side, and they probably could have got that one to Kareem, but he decided to just send this one back, and that's only going to aid Toronto's chance to get more points.
Yeah, 4th and 5 from kicking it out of your own end zone. That's going to lead to some really nice field position.
They said, no, we the only team that will run a play action at our own goal line, is what Jack James said in the chat. As we're going to see a punt here, going to be returned, and once again, right back to where they started, right around that 40-yard line area. And well, now we'll need to see if Toronto's offense could pick their game up. The second quarter is ending.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have played really great defense. Only one big splash play for a touchdown is the difference here.
We honestly could be looking at a 0-0 ball game, all things considered. Without that play, you never know. As we're going to see a handoff pushing forward, and there goes the big play right there, and there goes Wilson. One more man to beat, not going to get touched. And sometimes a big play is what you need. Toronto's up 2 scores.
Absolutely. And maybe I feel bad. Maybe I kind of jinxed him a little bit, but I mean, it's just, this is what this game's going to come down to. A breakaway play for a lot of yards, because otherwise there's just nothing there for these two defenses.
Big pass play for a touchdown, big run play for a touchdown. A 59-yard run. All it takes is one in the game of football. And now New York's got to dig themselves out of this hole. Good thing for them. Plenty of time to get their offense right.
Absolutely. I think hopefully not starting on their own goal line will help out a little bit. Having a little bit of space to operate and maybe make some plays with a little bit more breathing room should help.
Honestly, in my opinion, the one thing that New York really hasn't done at this current juncture of the game is test the intermediate and the deep passes. I think they need to see if they could get number 4 one-on-one going up against one of the corners of Toronto, even though that's not an easy task to do, right? But still, I think they need to change their approach to this game. They've been kind of conservative, not trying to go too crazy. As we're going to see the return here past the 20, a beautiful spin move, faking out 2 players, and that will get them in some decent starting field position here, close to the 30.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful spin move there, getting extra, 5 or so yards on the return. But now it's up to this offense, and like you said, maybe testing something a little bit deeper, something towards the middle of the field. Maybe get these out routes going, just something to not sit around in the pocket and wait for a sack.
They're going to try a short pass there to Calvin Akua getting the second catch, but they get absolutely nothing with that play.
That looked like a face mask. If I'm being completely honest, that man had his hand in his face. I'm just kind of surprised there was no flag.
Referees called to clean. Maybe that's a little bit of that Canadian cooking. We are in the playoffs for the first time outside of the United States, as we're going to see Aaron Knight take off to run. But once again, the Toronto defense coming through with a perfectly placed spy. And Yogi Barr is one of the best tacklers we've ever seen to ever come to the league. And bringing down Aaron Knight is not an easy task. He's 6'6", 240.
He's a big boy. He can get moving, and he's not the easiest to bring down.
Looking to go deep this time, and it's going to be an overthrow. And that is how this drive will once again stop.
Well, New York really kind of shooting themselves in the foot. They're not giving themselves a lot of chances, a lot of 3-and-outs, a lot of inconsistency, a lot of kind of what it seems like nerves from the entire team.
Yeah, they need to get themselves out of the box they placed themselves in, see if they can try something a little bit different, maybe even a flea flicker, anything. Get the juices flowing in this game. This is the biggest game of majority of every player on the team and on the field currently on either side. So they need to find a way to get their offense rolling if they want to come back, because Toronto's looking to go up another score if possible, and they could do it with the field goal. They don't need a touchdown to do that. So they're going to see Jack James passing this one here, steady in the pocket, runs right into number 92. That's Buster Mack again. He's going to pull him down for the sack, and a gain of nothing.
I'm surprised they call that a sack on a loss of nothing. I mean, if he's at the line, it's not really a sack, is it? It's just a tackle.
So it really depends on where the ball started. Maybe it wasn't like enough to be 2nd and 11. Maybe it was like a half a yard or something, or a quarter of a yard or something.
Maybe.
Because it will say 1 rush for 0 yards or something like that. As we're going to see another flag. This time it's a false start. So Toronto's been flagged a good amount of times this game, but it hasn't really affected them in the scoreboard.
Well, no, especially when considering most of their plays or their scores, both of their scores are just one-off big plays.
All things considered, New York's playing a fairly decent defensive game outside of 2 plays, if you want to look at it like that, as we're going to see a timeout called by New York.
Yeah, it's the big splash play that's hurting New York. They just need to prevent that from happening, and they're playing an excellent game. They're right in it.
3rd and 12 coming up here. Going to be in the shotgun. They're going to keep it on the ground. Why not? And Rye Hoglaw brings them down. And New York will give themselves one more chance, essentially, here in the first half. And we'll see what they could do.
Minute 52, it's enough time to get downfield and make something happen.
Jax James is like 2 runs, but all things considered, the 2 runs burned 2 timeouts. So that'll make it a lot harder for New York to move down the field if they can't get it steady, as we're going to see the return here. And there goes a little bit of a lane there. Now Drenzy taking it past the 45-yard line. And that's exactly what you need. The special teams can get your offense rolling here.
Yeah, I mean, you've only got like half the field to go. It's only 20, 30 yards to field goal range. You can definitely do that with a minute 40.
Single back set, 2 wide receivers to the right side, including Calvin Nakua there in the slot. Going to be a handoff here, pushing forward, and there goes the best run play so far tonight. There by New York, going to pick up about 9.
It's funny you call that a run play. I mean, it was more of him stumbling for 9 yards, not much running.
Rashad Watson will tell you that he will take it, considering how this game has gone so far. As we're going to see the shotgun set here for Aaron Nike. Clock still rolling, not using that timeout, obviously. Going to hand this one off, and he's going to get pushed away from the mark. What a great tackle there.
Yeah, he's a little short there. Now this is dangerous here, 3rd and inches. You got to think you got to go for this, even if you miss it.
Yeah, in my opinion, you go for it. But they have the leg to probably kick this distance as well, so I'm thinking that's why they're a little bit more conservative here. And they're going to try the ground game to pick up the first. That'll get them inside the 40 at least, or right at the 40. Probably have a chance to get 1 or 2 more, well, maybe 1 play. See if they can get down the field, help them out a little bit.
Probably 1 more play here if, they actually get to the line. And then a quick timeout. And get a field goal going.
And they're going to take it close to the 35, so that's definitely going to help their chances to get some points there, like a 52-yard field goal.
The question is, do they line up for another play, or do they... Yeah, there's the timeout. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they're working it down a little bit. But better make sure you make it, because if they miss it, that'll put Toronto around the 42-yard line or so, and that'll give them a chance to potentially Hail Mary.
Yep.
The Party has the leg to get it done. Now it just needs the accuracy. It's right down the middle, right on the X as well. You kind of see it right there, right in the middle of your screen. Kind of hilarious. Kick is going to be up here from Party. It looks like it's going to the right, and it is going to the right. That's no good. And as expected, like I said, I called it right there for the 42-yard line. I don't know how I did it.
Yeah, not ideal for New York. Definitely not what you want to see. You need to make that. You can't let them, be in this field position to get a Hail Mary.
7 seconds is enough to make a play, but they're going to keep it on the ground and find a big hole, take it to the midfield mark, and I'm thinking that is going to be a Hail Mary attempt from here.
Probably, yeah. I would assume so.
Overall, got to give the W in the first half to Toronto fairly easily, even though you could say without those 2 scoring plays, they're pretty much even.
Yeah, it's really 2 big splash plays is the difference in this game.
And
otherwise, there's been nothing to choose from.
Oh, I thought you were going to break away. So Toronto, they're cool with the 14-0 lead. They're not going to try the Hail Mary. And we'll take us to quarter number 3. Let's get into it, folks. And Toronto comes back onto the field. Maybe this is the reason why they went for the run game, because of the ability to have a full drive, not having to worry about throwing a pick or something like that. I don't know, but going to be 1st and 10 here. What are your thoughts on Toronto's game up to this point, all the way around?
I think all the way around, it's been a little underwhelming, actually. They've been kind of getting in their own way with penalties and stalling out their own drives. I think outside of the 2 big splash plays, they they really haven't shown a whole lot on offense, but their defense has been absolutely lights out.
That's kind of what I expected too. Like I highlighted that defense here for Toronto. They're top tier as any defense we've ever seen in the league. In my opinion, they're easily a top 10 heavy defense all year round. Just how great the players are, how great they've been stopping in the red zone, getting turnovers. They can do it all, as we're going to see another great defensive stop here by New York. Nice job. Tom Creed
Dropped him a yard too.
Tom Creed Jr., the former Voyager, making his appearance here. And as you can see, like those are always the two teams that stick out of the OGs. Charlotte recently and Huntington Beach pretty much since the beginning. And their players since season 7, they're all over, as we're going to see another handoff here. And that's not what you really want to see on third down, me personally.
No, definitely not something you want to see on third down with only a 2-possession game with this much time left. Maybe if it's later in the fourth and you're just trying to run out clock, that's a different story. But giving the ball back with this much time, I'm not sure.
We'll see it. Well, maybe they just have a lot of faith in their defense to keep it pushing, as we'll see. There's a face mask.
That is a face mask if I've ever seen one.
And that pushes New York right around midfield. And they were right there on that last drive, and now they'll have the full quarter. They won't have to use their timeouts here. Maybe this is the turning point. See if they could get number 4, Calvin Akua, involved, along with Juice Parrish, the tight end.
Yeah, if I'm in that locker room, if I'm the head coach, I'm going into that locker room and saying, hey, guys, we got to put forth a better effort on offense. And defense, we need to tighten up just a little bit. Can't allow these big splash plays. Keep everything in front of us.
Rashad Watson there. He's averaging over 3 yards a carry, so honestly, he could be doing worse on 12 carries, right? But definitely want to see a little bit more for sure on the ground game, help out your quarterback. And then, of course, the wide receivers, they need to find ways to get open here. As we're going to see the play fake here. Going to launch this one to the left side and throws a pick. It's going to be rolling on his own teammate. Kilo Mack, he got a sack. He's going to take it past the 25, past the 30. Actually, it's Tomlin Juice. I thought it was Kilo Mack. My bad. Tomlin Juice, the Juice Man, making it happen. And once again, Toronto just so good defensively. Going to launch this right side and going to be a beautiful catch there by Dusty Rooks.
I was surprised he got his feet down and inbounds.
See, that's why I'm glad Tom Riddell's in the chat for his team, because sometimes the numbers be messing me up. You got Barbo with a low number at the defensive line. You got Kilo Mack and Tom Lajusa with a low number. I keep getting them confused, but don't get it confused with the run game. Look at Austin Wilson, click again, over 125 yards on the ground.
He's been really good, continuing from his regular season success. So, New York, I mean, they've been doing a really good job. They got to slow that man down.
Going to be another handoff, and there goes yet another flag here from Toronto, the 3rd on the game here by their center.
And this is the story of why Toronto is not blowing through in this game. It's why they're not up 28, 35 to nothing right now, is because they keep taking these penalties.
Can't be taking these penalties at all. You got to make sure that you're on your bases here. I believe that's the 6th penalty or 7th penalty here by this offensive line. They've had multiple holding penalties, and then of course the false start. It's too many to have, but luckily enough for them, Jax James and the big homie Austin Wilson, they're on it. But they'll set up here. Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying good job, at least by those players up to this point. As we're going to see Dusty Rooks having himself another catch there. And back to a 3rd and 11 situation. Could be better, but this is what happens when you have the penalties.
Yeah, and the penalties, I mean, right now, it's, I'll say it again and again. in the playoffs, the more you take penalties, the less likely you are to win a championship.
That's definitely fair. We're going to see a blitz try to get home, and what a pass there by Jax James in the face of danger. That is not a rookie type of play. That is not a rookie type of play. That is a 6-7 year veteran. I don't care if I get hit, just get the first.
Exactly. Yeah, that's some heads-up awareness there, keeping an eye on everything around him. Takes a hit at the end of it, but still makes the play. Yeah, that's a big tackle.
Dexter Jackson doing it again, man. Like, he's always around the ball. One of the speedier linebackers we have in this league. Even at his age, he still has the ability to get the job done in the backfield and potentially hold them to a gain of nothing or one. Gonna pass it here, looking for a man, steps back a little bit, finds his mark. Does he hold on? No, he does not. Great attempt there by Phoenix Jones, but that second hit, right as he was catching the football, jarred it loose.
Yeah, tough break there for Toronto, as that would have really put them in a scoring position and put them in a position to put this game potentially in a chokehold.
Third quarter, almost halfway through, passing it again, goes right side, going to get swatted out of the air. What a defensive play there by number 22. Great job.
That was a great play on defense there. I don't know who 22 is off the top of my head, but very much needed stop from the Mafia.
And maybe another gain of 5 or so could have put him back in field goal range, kind of outside of Washington's league, but hey, he says the punting is still goated. They'll start him at the 5. What is with these punters tonight?
And they have just about every single opportunity they get, they have been putting them in the coffin. And eventually one of these times it's going to lead to a safety.
And don't forget, we have the safety leader on the defensive line, number 78, the only player over 1 safety in this season, as we'll see the nice handoff there. Rashad Watson picking up 3.
Like that 4. No, I guess.
Yeah,
that's odd. They went from the 5-yard line to the 9, but called it a gain of 3. That doesn't math very well.
Yeah, they're probably like 3 3/4 probably. Game Madden be Madden. That's the new saying. Like 2nd and 7 coming, passing it again, and going to be almost picked off. And that was what Toronto was looking for. Couldn't get it.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, you've got to settle down a little bit. Stop making these throws in the tight coverage. Stop throwing it to the enemy team. Find your guy, take a breath, and hit him in stride.
3rd and 7 is still manageable here. Aaron Ike's going to launch this one right open. There goes Aldrezi with that 96 speed, making it happen. That's exactly what you need to see. John Aldrezi making it happen.
Yeah, definitely. This is a amazing sign of life here for New York. I think that's the biggest play they've had all game. That might have even doubled their offense in total.
Most definitely. And they could definitely get back into it here. Use that momentum as we're going to see the fake. And there goes Krim. His first sack.
Well, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back here for New York. Making this next play much more difficult.
Almost lost that football. Luckily, his knee hit the ground before the ball went free. But it's going to be 2nd and 19. They got to get past the 35 on the other side. Actually, the 45 to get past the first down mark. And that play will definitely help. But it's back to a 3rd and 10 situation here.
So right back to where they were. And, I mean, you got to think if that sack doesn't happen, that this is the best drive that New York's had.
Yeah. They started multiple times within their own 20. They're going to pass it here. They send the blitz. It doesn't get home, and the pass is on the mark. There's a flag on the play, but what's the penalty? They said it is a hold, and that is tough right there.
That's some Madden stuff right there.
Well, we can't say that one has been hit more than the other. Both teams have been hit a good amount this game in penalties. Toronto, I'll say a little bit more, but still, that was a bad time penalty. Now they gotta get past the 45 again. A deep drop back, looking to throw left side and throws it straight to a defender. He's tripping. He's throwing it to the right side. It's gonna be the big homie Lawrence Sands. He had a face mask, and there goes the makeup. And now Toronto's right in scoring position.
You heard Coach say, I'm going to cut you after this game, so he had to get a big play there. But again, New York is just getting in their own way. They're not making good reads. They're not making good decisions with the ball, and it's costing them.
And what would have happened if that penalty beforehand didn't happen?
Right? Or the sack doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Just these little things keep compiling on them, and eventually it's going to get out of reach.
Best thing New York could probably do is hold them to a field goal attempt, or do what the other team did and get an interception, a fumble, anything to try to keep them away from a 3-score game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, shout out to Mike Jack up in the chat. Said good to hear Caboose back in the booth.
Yeah, I do this for the playoffs.
Gonna pass this right side. It is open there, and it is gonna be a stop. But we'll see David Washington hit the field, and just because they're close to a field goal don't mean it's guaranteed. We've seen multiple misses here from David Washington.
We've also seen a red zone interception this game from Toronto.
You're most definitely so. You missed that, then you're pretty much giving New York a chance to get back into the ball game. But we'll see it from the right hash. It looks pretty good, and it is pretty good. So we have ourselves a 17-0 ball game in favor of the home team.
And at this point, things are starting to get a little dicey here for the Mafia. They've got to find their game, and they've got to find it right now, or risk being out and looking at the draft upcoming.
Even with how great New York has been in the later portion of the season, I think this game still shows that there's still some things to take care of, just like you said. In regards to the tight end position, honestly, could be a little bit better. Need to keep on upgrading the halfback situation. I mean, Rashad Watson is very, very good, but I think maybe another back to spell him will help him out for sure. Defense, you can honestly go anywhere on defense. The defensive line could use some work to help out Ryhall Law and Brendan Gaucher. The linebacker core, it isn't getting too much better with
it's not getting younger either.
Exactly. I was about to say that, especially with Dexter Jackson approaching his final years, and honestly the depth could be a lot better there. And then you can go to the secondary, the safety set. They're decent, but playoff time, you need better than decent. Maybe we're looking at a 10-0 ball game if the safety didn't have his lapse of judgment. You never know. So there's a lot of things to think about. As that pass once again off the mark there from Aaron Ike. He's off his base right now, throwing under 50%.
Well, and I mean, another thing I think that, to be fair to New York, is that this Toronto team has arguably the best defense in the league. It is just absolutely suffocating what they can do.
Right up there with Huntington Beach, in my personal opinion. Those are the top two. Going to be a handoff, pushing forward, getting to the 35-yard line. Rashad Watson approaching 50 yards rushing. But the run game is going to start to be taken away pretty soon. Especially with the fourth quarter coming.
Well, yeah, there's no reason to keep running the ball when you're down by 3 scores this late.
Gonna be passing it again. Gonna turn up and gonna be another sack. He turned into that one. The Grim Reaper. He says he got some things to get, and one of those things is a championship. And he'll keep playing like that. You give yourselves a real good chance.
New York just doing themselves no favors right now. I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record.
Probably because you are. I mean, but honestly, it's just like you said, Toronto's defense is just that damn good. It's going to be a return to the 25-yard line. And now Toronto has a chance to make it up to a 24-0 ball game, which would mean if New York was to score 3 times, they got to score 3 2-point conversions on top of 3 touchdowns. You're asking for trouble.
Yeah, that'd be a little insane. Not something that will be an easy feat to do.
Gonna be taking off to run as Jack Shames, using his legs, gonna juke a move, and gonna slide down for the first, and he says he could get freaky looking like Lamar. It's 1st and 10 coming. I thought he was crazy running straight towards the defender, and it was like, okay, my bad, I'm sorry I doubted you for a second. Number 1, making it happen. 320 yards to 85, that's just ridiculous.
He got his man there to commit to try and make the tackle, then just cut it back around his blocker, and got a few extra yards out of that.
Shout out to the homies in the chat. We're in the 4th quarter. We're gonna get the giveaway and all the good stuff done in a little bit. Are we doing doubles for the playoffs, or what are we doing?
I believe we always do doubles for the playoffs, yeah.
Alrighty, so we'll go ahead and get that cooking in a little bit. I'll let all of that load up. But shout out to all of our affiliates and all of our sponsors, starting with Dubby, the official energy drink of the United Sim Football Association. Use code USFA S10 to get 10% off of each and every order that you choose to have with them. As you see a player right there who's been drinking his Dubby, aka Austin Wilson, picking up another first down. Shout out to Paladin. If you need some software help for your business, that'll be the perfect place to go. You'll be directly supporting USFA by doing so. Shout out to them. Shout out to all of our affiliates as well. We got the Gold Standard Basketball set up right there. They're doing their thing, going past season 3. Loving what I'm seeing there. Shout out to Goals, Great One Hockey League Sim. If Caboose can remind me what season they're in.
I believe they just went into season 9.
Season 9, so they're cooking just like us. We at 10, they at 9, doing their thing. And then also shout out to the ECFL, the League College Football League, doing their thing. And of course, they're our collegiate affiliates. So once you finish your career there, you'll be drafted by one of our 12 amazing professional teams here. Your NCAA to NFL type mode for all the people that have not seen us before. So make sure you show some love to all of our guys that support us. They keep us going, so we keep going for you, if that makes sense. So we'll go ahead and get into the spin in a little bit, as we're going to see the blitz get home, and that's exactly what New York was looking for. CA Jr. making it happen, and 7 sacks total on the game. Could have used that a little bit earlier, though.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, like they have been playing really well on defense in New York.
Mm-hmm.
It's really been their offense that has just really struggled to get anything going.
Most definitely is. We're going to see that one go into the end zone for the touchback. Probably the worst punt we've seen all game long, if we're being honest with each other, right? So we'll see New York start the ball at the 20, as we'll go ahead and hit that spin as soon as I can find the app. There you go. And it looks like New York's going to start out in the shotgun set. They're going to pass it quickly to the right side and almost picked off again, as that was a Hawking play right there. You seen that?
Oh, I saw it, but it looked like he just went for the swat down, and at this point, there's no need to try to make a big play and miss. Take the easy, take the safe route.
Okay, so looks like it rolled a 15 TPE, so for this draw, it'll be 30 TPE for lucky users. We're going to see the pass reaching for the first down is number 82, and he's going to pick up the first. Angelo Roman making his first catch of his playoff career. Unfortunate for his team, is not in the best of situations, but it is what it is. Got to get your stats up. Good job. As we'll see who gets the victory after this play. Shotgun set here for New York. Going to be passing it again, looking right side, and once again off the mark. And those small plays right there go a long way. Got to make sure that you hit on those plays. Get your guy in a good position to turn up.
Yeah, definitely. And there's just little things have been compiling throughout the game, and it's put them in this position that they're at now, where they're really far behind with not a lot of time left.
with 17 total entries. That's a good catch right there. A juke move past the 45 to the 48. And there goes another solid play there for New York. And looks like we are here for that. And people are really going to think that it is rigged, because the winner of this one is going to be another Rattler. It is going to be Swoosh House again. So he's picking up 30 TPE again. Wow. Going to look right side. Going to be incomplete. I thought he had it and he lost it.
Yeah, that's a little tough there.
So, congratulations to the Rattlers and Swoosh House. We'll see Arizona come to the field in about another 30 minutes or so. 15, 20 minutes, who knows? Going to be passing. There goes that man turning up. Going to get to the 25-yard line. There goes Aldrezi making a big play. It's 1st and 10 coming. New York looking nice.
New York just trying to get some points up on the board at this point. You would have loved to have seen this in the first quarter, taking shots downfield, but it looks like Toronto's kind of come a little bit more passive and just trying to protect their lead this late in the game.
Yes. It's going to be 7 minutes left in the 4th shotgun set. Here comes Aaron Nike. Going to look right side and caught. Going to push forward, and there goes another penalty, but this time it's by the veteran. It's going to be Dexter Hall pushing New York to the 8.
And I think, if New York had been able to get their offense going, these penalties would have killed Toronto.
And New York, at least not trying to get shut out in this game, right? As they're going to go ahead and pick up 1 yard.
I'm thinking maybe like a little corner route or an out route towards the goal line would be able to get them something.
Uncle Swoosh has picked up 10, 20, has picked up 50 TPE. And that is going to be caught off the tip. But to get him to the 4-yard line, what a heads-up play there from Watson.
Hey, you know what? Tip drill at its finest right there. There's a reason you do it in practice.
Swoosh House has been clamoring to make his speed 99, and if he keeps on winning these damn giveaways, he might end up winning it before the next season starts. Going to be passing it again. Looks left side. Going to be picked off again. And there goes the big homie Sands coming through his 2nd of the game. Wow.
Well, if you had hope for getting points in New York, that probably just killed it.
Tom, after he had that penalty, he was like, okay, you're fired. And he was like, okay, I love you again. 2nd and 2 coming. Mike Jack in the chat, he's like, he's soft for taking a knee. After the IAT, he said, take that joint back. Look, he was about to run, but he wasn't running towards the field to play. He just stayed in the end zone. So we're going to see another big handoff and push forward for another 3 or 4 yards. Austin Wilson, if they're going to keep on feeding him the ball, there's a good chance he could crack 200 tonight.
Yeah, and I think this late in the game that all they're going to do is feed him the ball. So there's no reason to risk anything through the air unless they have to.
Unless they have to, most definitely. 1st and 10 coming. The final 4 minutes of this ball game, going to see a handoff again and cutting around. I think he did a little too much on that play. Like he had a little bit of a crease to just fire through, but got a little scared.
Still a pickup of 3.
Can't be mad at
and keeps
that.
the clock rolling.
Mm-hmm. Toronto in the chat saying, not today. This ain't your day. 50 plays, 29 of them have been rushes. Normally it's more passes than runs in these games, but now that Toronto has themselves a pretty sizable lead, only could think that it's going to go up from there. That's the 30th carry. It said maybe tomorrow. Oh, Aldrezi was like, maybe tomorrow? I don't think so.
No, maybe next season. But this is going to be a pass play here, 3rd and 8. Maybe a chance to get an interception or something. Nope, it's just going to be a quick pass to a flat, and there he goes, first down.
Honestly, New York is like 3 or 4 mistakes away from at least making this a game. Because they were in it pretty much the whole game. It was just the mistakes piled up, the INTs. Who knows? It could, like, that touchdown could have been making it 17-14.
Yeah.
And then maybe they need one more stop. They'll probably be using their timeouts at this point of the game. If they could get the stop, then they'll get the ball back, one more chance to tie or take the lead. I mean, honestly, it could have gone that way. So I don't want New York and the fan base to think that y'all didn't have a chance. Like, from beginning to end, the defense held you in. The offense just had a little bit of bad luck there all the way around.
A little bit of bad luck, a little bit of poor decision making. So, just all around things did not go well from the very beginning. The buttons weren't firing. So, end of the day, it looks like it's going to be Toronto taking on Charlotte in Charlotte. I believe that is going on Saturday.
Saturday. So we start with the Western Conference on Friday. So that'll be whoever wins the next game tonight will face Huntington Beach. Going to be passing this short again to their halfback, and he's going to be stopped on third down again. And we've seen that number happen a good amount of times. We can actually go, when we go to the stats, we'll see that Toronto probably doesn't have over 40% on third down. New York's been doing pretty good on this front.
The New York defense has been playing really well, outside of, like I said, 2 splash plays.
Most definitely. And Toronto's looking to keep their football on their side of the field. Sheds off a man and sheds off another. And Austin Wilson. That's a grown-ass
man.
Oh, man, it's a grown man. And honestly, on Toronto's front, couldn't have ended that on a better note with how this particular game went down. And congratulations to Tom Riddell and the Big Homies in Toronto. They have themselves their first official playoff victory in team history.
I love how you can tell how long we've been doing this together when we both say that's a grown-ass man together.
Oh, man. We've been doing this way too long, my friend. But great job nonetheless. Great game overall. Just to know, a few of the mess-ups on the New York side of things didn't make it as good of a game as we could have got, but it is what it is. 17-0 in favor of Toronto. They will be moving on, and they'll be technically heading down south to play against the Charlotte Royals. We'll see that on Saturday, just like I said. Going over the stats real quick, and as I'm doing that, what are your thoughts on New York going into this game, and not going into this game, but going into the next season?
I think they have some things they need to address in the draft. I'm pulling up their team right now, and I think a better halfback is in order. Rashad Watson he's okay, but he's probably not starting quality. Continue to develop Calvin Nakua into that wide receiver 1 type. Maybe bring in a wide receiver 2, and then on defense, you've got a lot of okay pieces. You've got some good pieces for the future, like Gunny McGuire. But I think you need to find some upgrades in that department. Everyone's okay. Everyone's can start, but you don't have that elite talent on the defense that separates some of these teams. So I think that's going to be the focus for them, is getting some of that elite talent into their defense, and then on top of that, maybe just upgrading a few pieces on offense through the draft.
Most definitely. And also, while I'll keep this moving here, what are your thoughts on Toronto moving on to the next round, and how do you think they fare going up against the team that hasn't been missing the United Bowl for quite some time?
Charlotte and Toronto has been a really fun matchup this season. Toronto has shown that they can compete with Charlotte, and I think that they have the ability to potentially beat Charlotte. But if they put out another performance like this, they will not beat Charlotte. If they put out another 6, 7, 8 penalty performance, Charlotte will eat them alive.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to play a much more disciplined game against a Charlotte team that is highly regarded in this league as one of the best.
Most definitely. I 100% agree for sure. As we went over the stats and everything, shout out to everybody doing their thing up in the chat. Just doing a quick scoring summary. Spike Tillman came through with the big splash play like we were talking about, helped Toronto get the edge in this one. A 53-yard touchdown there. And then they came through with a 59-yard run. And like I said, honestly, without those plays, can we really say outside of the defense not allowing New York to score, did they really get the victory that they want?
Well, honestly, I don't think that there was too much to distinguish between these two teams. You take those two big plays out, and this is a 3-0 ball game.
Most definitely. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and wrap this one up. We will be back on the mix in a little bit. I do not have the thumbnail up for the next game that's coming, but it will be Tacoma at Arizona. So make sure you watch out for that. Should be back up in the next 10-15 minutes or so, right, Caboose? How you feeling about that?
Yeah, that could work.
All right, cool. So I'll go ahead and get set up for that. Thanks so much for stopping by. We'll be back in a little bit. Stay safe, everybody.